David, what's up? How's it going? There we go. Appreciate it. I decided I wanted to carry my Sebenza today, and then I changed my mind, and then I changed my mind again. But there was something going on with the action, and I needed to fix that, so I will never understand why that part keeps coming loose. There's no moving parts involved. No reason for it to be acting up like that. Paul Mills, what's up? Look at all that oil. The washers on this thing are absolutely huge. There we go. Dan Stan, okay, now I can ask. Did you just respond to a message on the Blade HQ Facebook group about a large Nkosi Tonto? Son of a bitch. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so that is you. I figured as much, but I wasn't 100% sure, so... Yeah, have you seen how many people complained about that PM2 drop? Like, everybody was freaking out. I didn't get one either, but I wasn't trying to. Whew. Just casually dropping like a $10 part. Because I'm an idiot like that. I don't think I've ever seen people so mad over having a chance to get something. Oh, those already dropped. They're already all sold out. Makes you wonder how many they had. And just a heads up for anybody curious, they are having more made. That was just batch number 1 of, I think, 2 that they said that they were going to have this year. So don't be freaking out or anything. They'll be dropping. I think the second batch was supposed to be larger. So, give them a chance to get shit going. But yeah, I've never seen so many people so mad over something like that. Did they not? I thought they had in the past. I'll be honest, I'm too focused on these to worry about Spyderco. Spyderco isn't really on my list. I own 11 of them. I don't need another one. I thought they did. Maybe I'm wrong. It's not something that I focus on because I just don't need any more Spydercos. I think they're ugly and comfortable. Zoro, what's up? Welcome back. God damn. These parts are tight. Yeah, I've had that for a while. A subscriber sent it to me a while back. I didn't realize that they were as much of a pain in the ass to get as they are. Apparently they're sold out like everywhere. Saw a guy selling one for $100, and it's aluminum and D2. Oh, I hate doing this. No, I don't want to hurt that. It's a good piece. It's not like my favorite or anything, but I don't think I've ever used it for anything. Yeah, I haven't gotten anything new for the most part lately. Fuck. Yeah, I definitely put some super glue in there at some point. Definitely regret doing that now. Fucking thumb is killing me now. Anyway, I think I've made up my mind. Grimsmo is definitely on the list. I keep on changing my mind, but I tried carrying my ZT today, and it's just too big to fit in my pocket easily with my phone right next to it. Well, we'll let those sit in there for about 3 minutes. Let it dissolve all the super glue, and then maybe I can put this thing back together. Yep. With that being the case, I also have things that I need to get rid of. Doke, what's up? And this one might be on the chopping block. You know, I don't want to get rid of it. But, I'm never going to carry it. It's comfortable. It's smooth. It's an absolute beater, but it's not narrow enough to fit in my pocket. Right? So what ends up happening is this flipper tab here scratches my my phone screen protector. Sitting there rubbing on it all day when I'm walking, and yep, the Rask is what I'll be saving up for. I didn't realize that they actually did some production Rasks in MagnaCut, but they don't do the buyer's choice models in MagnaCut. So, you know, I'm kind of shit out of luck on that. I sent them an email saying that I'll wait until they make them in MagnaCut. Now, if they get back to me fast enough, or slow enough, hopefully, I might have the money to buy one if they decide that they'll do it for me. The knife I want, simple. Yeah, if I'm gonna get one, it's gonna be Dragon Scale, plain titanium with MagnaCut blade. I was debating on getting one in full DLC, but they don't do that, so that's not an option. How's the action? I'm assuming it's got killer action, because every time that I see a video of it, it just drops. As soon as it gets, as soon as you push the lock bar out of the way, it just drops. What I really want is an abused Rask. One that somebody's treated like shit, so the bearings are having issues. Kind of like this one. I didn't realize that there was a cheaper fix for this. Yeah. I just don't like RWL34 because it's so basic. I don't want to spend $1,000 on a knife that isn't going to hold an edge as long as I want it to. Don't get me wrong, I know MagnaCut isn't like the best of the best when it comes to edge retention, but it's better, if I'm not mistaken, than It is. It's better than RWL34. I was also debating on just buying another Nkosi. Yeah, stuff like that just annoys me when you're dropping so much money to get stuff that you can buy for $100. Oh, did I get got again? Nope, fingernail stopped it. Nice job, fingernail. Pro tip, guys. Don't get cut. I've come to terms with the fact that I can sharpen just about any steel pretty damn well, as long as it's heat treated. Soft steels, hard steels, I don't think I've ever had an issue. Ever since now that I have the practice that I do. But yeah, I'd rather go longer. It's really not, though. See, I've heard people say that before. I mean, for Nitro V, I could understand because everybody heat treats that stuff like shit. But steels like CPM 154 and 154 CM, they're not complicated, and companies have kind of gotten those to a T. I'm not saying all the time because, again, they are large batch models. They're not going to have the precision that a custom knife maker would, but they're not that much worse. So I consider CPM 154 to be a waste when you're paying over 400 for it. Even at 63 HRC, you're not getting the edge retention numbers that you'd be getting from some other steels. I did hear about the Milwaukee style LUDT, and I was looking into those. They're kind of funny. I kind of like that. Although I'm a DeWalt guy myself, but I can appreciate comedy. As for the wait, what? They're not moving out of the US, are they? Where'd you hear that? I know back in the day they used to have some Chinese-made stuff. They had a budget line called the Red Line or whatever. I had one. I don't remember because I never got the box with it. Oh, the medals from the UK? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I don't think Chris Reeve uses American MagnaCut anymore. The current MagnaCut offering, I think, is from Aristeel and what's it called? France. Yeah, I don't expect that the UK is going to last much longer, to be honest. Unless they do something about it. So, what country is Aristeel from? Is that French or is that um, France? Okay, so I wasn't mistaken then. I want a reblade for my Nkosi. That's what I really want. I want a Magnamax reblade at 66, 67 HRC. What do we think, guys? Drop point or sheep's foot? I've got one of each blade for this thing, so. Yeah, but I could swap it right now while I still have it taken apart. That's what I'm talking about. Tonto. Fuck that. No, I was thinking about commissioning Transparent or something to do one for me. Sheep's foot. Oh, he doesn't do those? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to. I didn't even read the name that you were talking about, to be honest. Yeah, they're. Well, no. The drop point is a single stud blue. It doesn't change anything sharpening wise. Until you get like really far into how far you've sharpened, it doesn't really change anything. Yeah, I didn't even read the name that you guys were talking about. That's funny. Talk to We'll talk to the guys at Chris Reeve and see if they plan on making them in Magnamax, and if they do, how soon I can expect to see that. If I can expect to see it within the next year, I'll just hold off. If it's going to be 2 or 3, like the amount of time they waited for the or to start using MagnaCut, then I might go elsewhere. There's always money in new fidget-friendly knife locks. Unfortunately, I didn't have the money to patent the one that Miguron started using back when I thought about it first. I thought about that lock back in 2024. It's a button-actuated liner lock where you can close it using both the liner lock or the button. And I thought about that back in 2024 because like the idea originally came from the, what's it called? The Milwaukee Fastback. Cliff, what's up? So the Milwaukee Fastback, when I first got my hands on one, you had to push the button to flick it open. And then you had to close it with the liner lock. So I just thought that was stupid and was wondering, well, why don't they just make a button actuated liner lock so that you don't have to do one or the other? You could do both either way. And back then I was still really, really early in my designing of folding knives, so I wasn't great at it. The best knife I ever designed at the time was a back lock. Nowadays I'm getting my hands on working on a button actuated liner lock design, and let me tell you, those things are a bitch to make them work. Cliff blocked you? How'd you pull that off? Yeah, I haven't heard any of the testing going on about the The Manix 2s, I'm not overly interested. It's not a knife that I enjoy carrying. So I don't like their lock. That ball bearing lock is kind of a pain. But yeah, Doak, you have a good one. These locking mechanisms are a bitch to make them work. Extremely complicated. And you're like, well, they did it. How come you can't do it? Well, this one's designed around thumb studs. You have a good one, Paul. We'll see you later. So this knife is designed around being opened with thumb studs only. And I want a flipper tab version of this. And it is extremely complicated to make that work. The thing is, I think that they already figured that out. So it's almost not worth me spending my time developing that. What I have noticed though is that the knives that they make using that locking system have very small handles. And the design that I'm working on is a larger handle. 3 1/4 inch blade. We'll see what I can do with it. I'm just going to assume that they both left. Anyway. I saw Lou yesterday. I think it was. Why? He called me names again. I should put him in timeout. He might drop in, he might not. It's a 50-50 on that. Question is, will I be live streaming long enough for him to see it? The other question is, will he get a notification? Because apparently YouTube hasn't been sending notifications out to people. It's also been unsubscribing people from my channel. So that's fun. I thought that only happened to the big channels. I'm used to it. What if I'm not, man? Oh. double check that. All good. Oh, this one? I order them off of AliExpress. They just take forever to sand them until they fit. If I had enough people interested in them, I'd sell them, but I'd have to do hand fitting myself on every single one of them. And the first one that I did took 30 minutes of sanding. This one took 2 hours. And frankly, the 2 hours of work that I put into it was not fun. I still ended up with a cool backspacer though. Almost makes me wish that I had a blasting cabinet that was functional. Put some glass media in there and re-blast it so that it looks brand new. Because Chris Reeve won't blast anything that they don't make. Yeah. Yep. Believe me, if they would blast things that they didn't make, I have... Oh. I have a scale that needs blasted. I kind of wish that this scale was plain. But they don't, they didn't make them in plain. They made them in the Wilson Combat style ones. And then they made some frag ones too, but the frag ones are like ugly to me. You know, it doesn't look terrible. They really fucked up on the thumb cutout though. From factory, that was garbage, and I had to put a... Yeah, I'm familiar with him. I've talked to him. A knife that I just sold, I was asking him, he made a titanium front scale for it. If you kind of dig it, my first Sebenza is up for sale. It comes with the lightning tie backspacer and that front scale. It's not worth the trouble. It really isn't. The backspacer looks damn near perfect. It's such a small thing to be concerned about when it's just a couple spots, like maybe that much total space that I sharpened or that I sanded. Shunkin, what's up? It sounds to me like you're going to be going through with getting a ZT of some sort, so I think I'm going to go ahead and sell that dividend that I was talking about. Yeah, I think it looks good. I kind of wish that it didn't have the lanyard hole, but an interesting thing that showed up when I put the backspacer on, it's quieter when you open it. The clack sound that this thing made when it opened every time with the original backspacer was loud as shit. And this thing's quieter now. No, if I liked lanyards, all my knives would have them. I actively take them off. Plus, all the Chris Reeve knives come with a lanyard. I just find it's not something that I want. I could, but I don't have the attention to detail. I do. It just take forever. I think they're TC4 titanium, so they are grade 5. It's just it's more work than it's worth. It's just aesthetics. That's it. Paul, welcome back. It's just a looks thing. I'm genuinely not even worried about it. It's there. And maybe, like I said, if I decide to sell it, then, you know, the next person might enjoy that. Not that I plan on selling my Halloween Sebenza. I was saying that earlier. So I got it from AliExpress, but this one took 2 hours of sanding to make it fit. They're about 15 to 20 bucks. If I were to do another one, I'd probably charge about 40, including shipping, because shipping got fucking expensive. There's a dude that's selling them on eBay for 80. Or he has them listed on eBay for 80, but I agree. I like it. I wish I could get one for my Nkosi. No, I actually haven't. I did a little bit of digging at first. I haven't seen a backspacer like this anywhere else. Jackal to Hide makes their own, but it doesn't look like this. Nope. Anything that fits off this won't fit onto this. Their dimensions are different. This one's thinner than the Nkosi. AB123, what's up? Yeah, believe me, if things off the Sebenza would fit, I would have a backspacer on this one. Yeah, it's a Dragonfly too. They don't. I did a lot of looking for a backspacer for my Nkosi. And the only ones that I've found are a couple custom ones that are like $100 a piece, and then the Jackal to Hide one that's like 200. And I don't want to drop that on my beater knife, so it's just not going to happen. I made a post on Reddit a while back, or a comment on somebody else's post. They asked what your beater knife is. And I posted this. And everybody's like, that's not your beater knife. You think I'm going to lie about that? So I do know why. And I was wondering the same thing until I did a little bit of digging. The lanyard pin gets in the way. It seems so minimal, but when you drop the tip of this knife, let me so the tip's up here. When you drop it down to where it would be, the lanyard pin's right there. So you'd be smacking the lanyard pin. So the whole reason why they don't do an Insingo, in my opinion, would be because they don't want to change the handle design to fit around it. What I don't understand is why they don't make a small. If you're talking about this one, it was $550, yeah, plus 30 in tax because I bought that one new. This one I got for 400. No, but the thing is, then they'd have to change things, right? These come with a lanyard pin, all the tools, a sticker, box papers, everything else. But everything needs to fit because everything's interchangeable, right? So if you have 3 of these and they're all different blades, you can technically swap blades between them. You need to swap the washers with it, but yes, it would fit. And I think the Sebenzas are a little bit different. Those ones you have to, I think they have to fit the scales. They hand fit them. So these are a lot more involved when it comes to being built. I wish you guys could feel how nice of a knife this one is. This thing broke in so nicely. Don't get me wrong, it's not as smooth as one that was on Skiffs. I just saw one of those in a video. Drop shut action. I would almost pay to have that done. Almost. Thing is, immediately when you do that, the warranty is voided. Oh, but KO, why would you worry about the warranty? Well, the other side of things is they won't work on knives that are modified. So if you want something like, let's say I wanted to go and get this one blasted again, I'd have to swap back to the original backspacer because they won't do that. And that disappoints me, but there's nothing I can do about it. Inkosi. I'd pick the Inkosi over the other ones any day. There's no way that I'd pick an Umnumzaan over this thing. I bought that Umnumzaan with a fear of missing out, and I carried it for a bit, and frankly, it's just not my favorite. Well, I don't do stuff like that. I find it not worth the money, personally. Still waiting for that Arius to be finished. It helps you eat. See, if it helps you do something, then sure. But I don't have a need for stuff like that, so it wouldn't help me with anything. The name of what? I do have this one named. I was using it as a kitchen knife earlier. Well, if we're going for factory names, this one's a Sebenza, Inkosi, Tenacious, Umnumzon, Redention X, Lock, Dragonfly 2, and Karok. As for names that I've given them, this is the only one that's been named because it cut my my finger pretty damn good. And this one's named Icor. It cut really deep. I was not expecting it to cut as deep as it did. But when I got myself, I don't remember which blade I had on it, because I've got two blades for it. Got a drop point and I've got a sheep's foot. Not really. It hurt the next day, but the day of, it didn't really hurt. And if this one stays in my number one spot for long enough, I'll probably just name it King and we'll leave it at that. Go for it. What do you think? I don't like Tontos. I could just go buy one, to be honest. Just drop by the Chris Reeve shop and say, hey, put me on the list for a Tonto. And they'll go like, okay. Then they'll make one for me. And then they'll ask for my knife. And they will custom fit it. And then once it's custom fit, I pay them $150 and then I get my knife. The thing is, the one Tonto, I have two Tontos actually. The large Inkosi Tonto that I have, I'm trying to sell, and the small one I'm trying to sell as well. The small one, I want to make $10 profit off that one. So I'm really not asking very much anymore. Not that I was asking a ton to begin with. And the large Inkosi is $100 off. Well, yeah. I mean, who else would I go to? If they already make the blade shape, might as well. I kind of like trailing points. Not as much as I like a drop point, and I like a sheep's foot more than a drop point. But I'll be 100% honest, the drop point has grown on me. You can like what you want. I have personal preferences. We all do. I'm not going to tell you not to enjoy a Tonto. That's just rude. Telling somebody not to enjoy something that they already enjoy. Ridiculous. It's like influencers telling you what to do. Spear points alone are pretty good. I've never seen a spear point Tonto. That wouldn't make much sense to me. Wait. You mean one that looks kind of like how you would draw a sword, where it goes straight and then it meets in the middle? That'd be interesting. I wouldn't buy that, but it'd be interesting. Oh. You know, if you like a Tonto with a recurve, you should look into a Grimsmo Norseman. A Spanto. Oh, okay. I've heard of it. I've never really paid attention to the blade shape, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think that'd be for me. Jim, what's up? Folding knives, obviously. XM18. Show me a Spanto. Like I said, I've never really paid much attention to those. Yeah, I've seen some of his that are like that. I swear to God, if my Harsey has any recurve to it, I'm getting rid of it. Getting rid of the recurve, not the knife. Just so we're clear. Had somebody front flip my Nkosi the other day. No. I was at the knife shop and I was like, hey, check out the action on my Unumzon. And I'm like, Ernie checks it out and he front flips it with the glass breaker. Like all the way out. I've never seen somebody do that before. And he was only able to do it once before it like stabbed him in the thumb pretty good. I think it's the wildest thing that I've ever seen somebody do with an Unumzon. Oh, mine's broken in already. Very impressive. I 100% agree with you. If I didn't have this thing, yeah, I really don't like recurves. I find them hard to sharpen. You got to keep in mind the recurves that I'm used to are like this. And this thing was a bitch and a half to sharpen. I also want you guys to keep in mind when realizing that I sharpened this thing, a recurve is where, so I'll show you a normal blade is like this, and a recurve goes back. Now, very slight, you'll barely notice it, but this one is very pronounced. And they're a bitch to sharpen. Sitting there trying to think of how much I'd have to sell my small Nkosi for to make $10 in profit. So shipping's going to be $15. $347. But nobody's going to buy it anytime soon because it's a Tonto. And nobody wants a Tonto. Go stick it on Knife Swap one of these days when I decide to start getting into Knife Swap. I'm not looking forward to that. I don't like using PayPal. Oh yeah, I know. But it has box and papers, so it's being shipped with everything in a flat rate box, so it's going to be like $15. I already use Pirate Ship. But with the fact that they upped their cost this year, again, after upping it like twice last year, it makes things expensive. Well, to be fair, Paul, I've been trying to sell it for months, and I've brought it up a very many times, so at least 100. This time last year I had around 200. I've sold a lot. I've brought this story up before. I sold 30 knives to get enough money to buy my first Sebenza because they just came back in stock for the first time in like a year, and I really wanted one. So that took down like a huge chunk of my collection. It happens. It is a small Nkosi that I'm talking about, though. The price was a little higher back when I was last talking about it, though. I wanted $375 for it. I just don't want to like lose money on it, you know? That's one of those ones where I'm perfectly fine being transparent about it because it's close enough that I'm barely making anything. Okay, I'm probably going to drop off here in 30 minutes or so, then head to bed, so I'm trying my best to not use the full 85% of my battery life that I allow myself to have every day. And to do that, I have to cut things off early. Anyway, you have a good one. As for the small Nkosi, though, yep, night. How much did you spend on knives this month? Now you got me curious. Probably more than me. I bought 2 knives and they totaled out to $100. You, Paul. You. I didn't know that you could block people on YouTube. You said you spent all your knife money this month. I'm curious what all your knife money entails. Don't block me. I don't think I've ever... No, I've muted one person. I don't know. I know I have Melissa Backwoods blocked on Facebook. Fair enough. Sent, what's up? I have her blocked because one of two reasons, or both reasons technically, but I have heard that she gets paid to do reviews on things, and I don't think I've ever seen her complain about a knife, which sounds like there's bias there. And two, I just find the videos annoying. I don't know what it is about them. There's just something that I find annoying about her videos. I don't really have a whole lot of trolls, to be honest. I think I've had one here on YouTube. No big, huge deal. I took care of it pretty quick. They just wouldn't stop spamming the N-word, and I just got so fed up with it. Oh, come on. Cliff is in the chat as well, so... Okay, so I need your guys' opinion on something, right? I spend money. Yeah, this is a knife channel. It's not an EDC channel. It's a knife channel. I don't collect flashlights or anything else. It's just the knives. So I need your guys' opinion. I buy this knife for money. I tell somebody else that I will sell it for money to them. Then they don't get back to me. What do I do with said knife? Do I hold it for them? Because I've held it for them for over a week. Because I can only hold on to things for so long. And then runs my other question. So I'll wait for an answer on that first one. And then I'll want an answer to my second one. Well, he said he wanted it. You know, he said he'd buy it, and then I got in contact with him. on another live stream. He said he completely forgot. And then, by the looks of it, he completely forgot again. I'm sure you guys can understand my frustration. I guess we'll see what the people think. Now, while we're still talking about basically the same concept, right? I make a deal with somebody. It's 7 knives for $100. The deal's struck. They say they'll pay it. Okay, so I've got 7 knives in a package deal for $100. This guy said that he'll pay for it, and we'll move on, and I'll ship them out. I've waited. Give me a sec. 9 months for that guy. And then I got a hold of him and said, hey, I still have your package. And then he sent me a Facebook reel instead of actually responding. So that's where we're at now. Now I have 2 things in mind. 1, I try and get in contact with him again. See if I can sell them off, right? Or 2, because I'm a pretty spiteful person, it's just the way that I am, I go and sell them to a pawn shop for half of what I offered him to him for. Just because I want to. I'm very petty. I'm sure you can understand the frustration when you've waited 9 months. I don't know how quickly I could move them, is my problem. Anyway, they've been sitting in a separate box the whole time. I know there's a Kershaw leak in there, and I don't remember any of the other knives. But I'm getting tired of waiting for people. If I make an agreement with you to wait a month, then that's an agreement that I made. But I told the guy I'd wait for a month, which, at the time, when I put a knife on hold, the hold time was a month. You have a month to pay it off, and as soon as the month is up, I'll sell it to somebody else. No, here's the thing. I have the package. I don't have the money. So, it's not like I'm missing out on anything. I'm just, I don't want to keep waiting for this shit. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. If I make a deal with you, and it's a pretty solid deal, I've got more patience than that. Well, I did at the time. 2 weeks is about my max at the moment. Because 2 weeks gives you enough time to get your next paycheck. For most people. If it's something a little more expensive, like a Chris Reeve, I'd be happy to do a payment plan, but you need to talk about that. You need to bring up the idea. I've done a payment plan in the past. Worked out flawlessly. Dude hit payments every week. Took 5 payments to get it all finished, and then I sent it off. Didn't spend any of the money while it wasn't paid off, and it was all fine. It kind of sucked to wait 5 weeks before I could spend the money, but you know, that's kind of just part of it. I like my pink Spyderco very much. I 100% agree with you. However, I have wanted to put some titanium scales on this. But I don't know how pink you can anodize titanium. Yeah, we'll see if I have it in 3 months. To be honest, I'm hoping I don't, because that would be a long time to hold on to this thing. Okay, so you can get titanium pretty well pink. But I want the pink because it's in the spirit of the knife, right? When you have a knife like this, it comes in a relatively unique color. S30V, by the way. Then, of course, you kind of want to keep the original idea of the knife. Yeah, I hate holding on to these Chris Reeve knives for so damn long. I thought for sure that backpacker would sell almost instantly. Turns out, nobody wants a backpacker. Go figure. The moment I turn around and try and, I buy some Benchmades knowing that I can sell them for a little bit more money. And then the moment that I bought them, a shit ton of fakes went on to eBay and have been selling for like 40 or 50 bucks. So now the secondary market on bug outs is ruined, and I can't even sell them for the prices that I've been wanting. Speaking of, I was heavily debating on that trade that Jim offered a while back, but I want money. I don't want another knife, because I want money that goes towards bigger knife. No has money, no gets more expensive knife. Ooh. Hot take there. They're a staple in the community. I mean, they're one of two knives or knife companies that are still in the Holy Trinity, because Strider is just fucked. Mick really screwed himself over. I can't even tell if half the things that I've read about him are the truth, or it's just people that hate him. Because I've heard about a dishonorable discharge. I can't verify that. I've heard about a DUI charge. I can't verify that. Alright, what the hell is going on with this thing? Fucking blade play like my bug out has. See, the thing is, I would want to know about these things, because I can't support drunk driving. Right? That's... no. Swear to God, if this thing has problems, I'm gonna be pissed. Well, I don't know the whole backstory behind Mick Strider. I've heard a bunch of shitty things, but I haven't been able to verify almost any of it. I'm pretty sure that he became a ranger, but he wasn't a ranger for any longer than 2 months. By the sounds of it, anyway. What a pain. So what can people tell me about Mick Strider? I don't like their designs. The Dwyer designs, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I don't like those. The SMF, just not my thing. I have heard Stolen Valor, but the thing is, it sounds like he was in the military, just not for very long. And he definitely didn't do combat by the sounds of it. Yes, you do have to be careful with the amount of torque that you put on these tiny, tiny screws. The thing is, I want verified info on him. Because I've heard plenty of bad things. Look at all that fucking slop in there. I don't want to over tighten it either. I don't know. And here's the other thing, right? Buying directly from the source is different than buying from somebody used. I'm not saying that I know that's a duh, but that's something to keep in mind. I can want a model that somebody made and still dislike the person who made it. Like right now, I'm kind of mad about, or I'm kind of mad at. No, I think the bug out is the most faked knife. Yeah, I don't understand that. Another thing that I've heard is apparently Chris Reeve was a dick. Now, I didn't know that, but yeah. That's why I don't buy used online very often. I only buy things that I can verify by looking at them. Alright, what the fuck do we have going on with this thing? Because I really don't like having blade play on this. Oh yeah, I know what to look for when it comes to Benchmades. But and sometimes Spyderco's, at least the lower end fakes, because those, it's just so obvious. I fucking hate bearings so much. I've had so many issues with bearings over the years. Especially used knives with bearings, when somebody over tightens them, it's just ruined forever. There's nothing you can do about it. That's why I like washers. I swear, if this thing continues with its blade play bullshit, I'm not going to be impressed. I just know when I'm going too far. I don't need You have a good one, Cliff. We'll see you later. Still has blade play. Because of course, why wouldn't my knife just love to be a piece of shit? Well, it's not exactly cool in this house either. Plus, I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt and pants, so kind of screwing myself over there. Yeah, I live in Idaho, and it gets hot as shit here. Alright, you have fun. Relief, I'm sure. Yeah, you're definitely not sober. Let's see. Well, other than it being a pain in my ass right now, it's been an okay knife. The thing is, I've never really used it for anything. When I need torque to loosen one of the screws, nothing works better than a ratchet. Yeah, except for this one. Might try and get rid of that. It's got blade play, and I don't know where the blade play came from because it didn't have it last time I fidgeted with it. I wouldn't know what that's like. I don't own any Striders. I like the blade steel and the heat treat and the locking mechanism, but other than that, I'm not overly impressed. Yeah. At this point, I need to stop paying $60 for a knife and continue with my $500 knives. You know what's never disappointed me? My Nkosi. Well, it disappointed me twice right there, but you get the point. This thing's fixable. That thing's broken. And you wonder why I like the Allen heads. You can find an Allen wrench that'll fit this anywhere. No, I 100% agree. I hate working on pivots, especially when it comes to tuning. It takes so long to tune these things perfectly. Tuning my Nkosi took about a half hour. Tuning my Umnumzon took, I think, a full hour. And this one's fun. Tuning my Sabenza there took weeks. KO, how did you tune your how'd you tune your Sabenza? Don't they have a pivot bushing? They do. And I thinned my washers to make it a little bit looser. I wouldn't know what that's like. Damn it, didn't even cut that straight. Eh, fuck it, close enough. Here's the thing, right? I don't drink because it takes too much alcohol to get me drunk. I don't smoke because I don't like the smell of that stuff. And I don't do drugs probably because I have an addiction to buying knives. And frankly, at least I have something to show for it when I'm done spending my money. And with drugs, it doesn't really work that way. For shits and giggles. Yeah, it was $30 to have them redone in silver. Cost more when you have to ship them, obviously, but I've been thinking about having it done to my Nkosi, but the thing is, there's no point. It's an aesthetic thing, and I really don't care that much. I've gotten used to these thumb studs, so they're not as bad as they were when I first got one. Don't get me wrong, they still suck, but they could be worse. I hate them even more on the small Sebenza. Although I think that the worst, in my opinion, the worst knife that I own for me, because my hands are fairly large, is the small Nkosi. It does not fit my hand well. It is a very small knife. People don't, when you look it up and you see that it says like 2 3/4 inch blade, you don't think that it's that small. It is that small. It is definitely that small. Now, you know what I was looking into earlier? I was looking at the Blade HQ website because I figured, oh, I wonder what stuff they have, because everybody's paying attention to the PM2 drop. What else do they have? Well, I was looking, and they have like a shit ton of Hawk Talons in stock right now. Yup. They have almost an entire page of them in stock right now. See, if I were to get one out of the ones that they have in stock, that one. Draw, what's up? How's it going? I'm going to send Jim a DM. I want to see if... I don't think I ever got pictures of his junkyard dog. I'm doing all right. Jim. No, I just want a Talon because they're made like an hour and a half away from where I live. Which is kind of weird that I'd want to drop that much money on something just because of how close they are. But can you blame me? Oh, I think it's weird. Dropping $1,200 just because a place is close. I think it's weird. But I've been called weird quite a few times, so. Well, my phone is about to die. I did say that I'd end the stream after about 30 minutes, and it's been 45. It's been 50 minutes. Anyway, ZT 850, just because I'm curious. Oh, 850. That's definitely an interesting model. It's discontinued, though. Yep, Paul, LCAP, you guys have a great rest of your night. Everybody else, hopefully you have a great rest of your night, day, morning, whatever it is. And we'll see you in the next one.